Guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So at the end of the day, it's all about you. It's all about you. You could be having all the mentors. It's at the end of the day, it's all about you. You could be having all the mentors, all the pastors, all the parents that are supporting you, but then at the end of the day, it's all about you. What do you believe you can be? What do you believe you can be? What do you believe you can be? Because if you believe it, you can have it. And remember, as I said, age is just but a number. When you see a person, a person probably decided to go back to campus when they are in their 40s, allow the person. Age is just but a number. Age is just but a number. At the end of the day, is your mindset. What is your mindset telling you? What is your mindset telling you? What is your mindset telling you? And remember, there's a shot that I put for you guys, that when of which Apostle T. Mwangi was saying that a couple of us normally we only have that certificate of Form 4. We only have that certificate of Form 4. And then for the people that are not from Kenya, we only have that high school certificate. A couple of us, we only have that high school certificate. We don't even have a driving, that certificate from driving. We don't even have that. We don't even have that certificate from driving or another certificate. We only have the certificate of our high school, and then we have the birth certificate. When we have the birth certificate, he was saying that demystify yourself and know that I want to grow. I want to grow. I want to grow. I want to grow. And how do I want to grow? How do I want to grow? In family wise, in the family part, if I want to start a family, am I willing to get to that agreement? Because remember, as I told you, that marriage is an agreement. You are agreeing. So if you want to start your own family, are you ready to go to that agreement that we call marriage, or that covenant that we call marriage? And are you willing to love the person? If, for example, you are a male, are you willing to love that female from when you're going to start the relationship, to when you're going to get married, to when you're going to do your wedding? Then later on, when you enter the house, are you willing to love the person from then on, even before you get your child, even before you get your children? And later on, after you've gotten your children, are you willing to love the person even as they age? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to love the person even as they age? Are you willing to do that? For the people that is for the people that want to start their families and want to go to that covenant we call marriage. And again, he also said that, then you say that you want also with the intake of the food that you eat. So he was saying that a couple of the bachelors, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, that a couple of the bachelors, you're going to find them, they eat the mutura, the what, once in a while eat it. Once in a while eat it. Once in a while eat it. As a bachelor, once in a while eat it. 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 But then he was saying that even if you're going to be given, even if you're going to enter heaven and you're going to be given a new body, take care of this. I normally insist and say, this is just but a vehicle. Let's take care of it. This is just but a vehicle. This is just but a vehicle. Let's take care of it. This is just but a vehicle. Let's take care of it. Let's take care of it. And then for the people that are like, I wanna be forever young. In order to be forever young, you need not to be stressed. You need not to be stressed. You need not to be stressed by anything. You need not to be stressed by anything. You need to live life in a way that you only care of your priorities. You only care of your priorities. Other things come secondary. You only care of your priorities. Other things come secondary. That's one tip of being forever young. Then another thing, you need also to engage in physical activities. You need to engage in a physical activity. If you live alone and you probably have internet at your house, why don't you once in a while, as you're watching the television, why don't you you engage probably in an exercise. You look for if you have the YouTube, if your television has the YouTube, you can decide that once in a while you put the YouTube, you look for physical activity probably like exercising, and then if you can briskly walk, if you can briskly leave your house once in a while and go outside there and walk, well, it's going to give you the body that you want. Or probably you can as well as decide that you can go to, for example, if you're a Kenyan, you can go to Karura Forest. You pay that 500 bob, then you go, you take the bikes, you ride them, or you decide to go to Arboretum. In Arboretum, you go there, you engage with the nature, you see the nature, you see whatever you're going to see, and then once you're done with it, you come back home, and you continue, and you're going to find yourself with the body that you want. Because there are people that are in their 40s, but they look like that, like they are in their 20s. There are people that are in their 20s, but they look like that, like they are in their teens. There are people that are in their 50s, but then they look like that, like they are in their 30s. It is you to demystify. With this vehicle, it is you to decide. It is you to decide how you want it to be. And then Apostle T. Mwangi also did say that you also need to demystify yourself if you want to go, if you want in the part of the spiritual growth. The part of the spiritual growth, you need to demystify yourself and know who is going to be your spiritual father. Who is going to be your spiritual father? Who is going to be your spiritual father? And then now in the church, the building, you also need to demystify yourself on which denomination are you going to belong. On which denomination are you going to belong? And then, are you going to love believers outside there? Are you going to love believers outside there? Or you're the kind of person that will be like, you are a Catholic, you are a sijui this, I cannot love you, you're sijui this. Remember, love is the greatest commandment. Remember, love is the greatest commandment. And then another part that you also need to grow. You also need to, if you want to probably work in a space, in that space, and probably you do not know how to do that work, you can decide you go back to school. You can decide you go back to campus. You go, at least if you can decide you can go and do that diploma. You can decide you go do that diploma, you go do that degree, you go do that masters, you go do that doctorate, so long as, and remember, you should not appreciate mediocrity. You should not appreciate mediocrity. If you want to be great, you should not appreciate mediocrity. If you want to be great, you should not appreciate mediocrity. Remember, you need certificates. You need certificates. Remember, you need certificates. You need certificates. So instead of having just that one certificate of high school, and then you say that you want to go probably work in a space, they are going to tell you. They're going to tell you, can you go back to school and improve in some areas, in the area that you are interested in? Can you go back? They're going to tell you, can you go back to school and go and study in the area that you want? They're going to probably give you like 6 months. Can you go? They're going to tell you, can you take a course like for 6 months or so? And then you go, you study it, and then you come. Now you start. Then now we give you the work. Are you willing to take those 6 months and learn that thing? Are you willing to take those 6 months and learn that thing? So demystify yourself and know the growth that you want. Demystify yourself and know the growth that you want. And then after you've known the growth that you want, and also in the part of the relationships wise, also there you also need to look at how do you relate with your siblings. How do you relate with your siblings? How do you relate with your friends? How do you relate with your parents? You need to know that part of the aspect. You need to know that part of the aspect. You also need to grow that part of the aspect. So demystify yourself and know the growth that you want. And after you've known the growth that you want, And after you've known the growth that you want, then you ask yourself, am I willing to sacrifice some time and go and learn this thing? And go and learn this thing. Am I willing to do that? Can I sacrifice my time and go and learn this thing? Then now I come and do it. So thank you for listening to me. Watch, like, comment, share, and subscribe.